Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome back to my YouTube space. Now, before we go into this video, there's this one video I want you to watch. I call it Daily Mantras. Watch this one.
And because you are Negroes and women, you do not have the luxury to be as good as the white soldiers. You have the burden to be better. Remember, you are not only representing America, you are representing the Negroes of America.
This is one of the videos that is in my gallery that black people need to be better. You need to be better than the white people. Not be good as white people, but be better as or than white people. Now, the video I'm going to discuss with you today is about this black American saying or telling the white or the American society at large that we want you about this. Of course, black Americans has been warning white Americans about a number of things, but they were being ignored simply because they are black. So if you are a black person and you are raising alarm and you are raising an issue, they cannot listen to you because you are black, and black people are only servants but not masters. So watch this clip of this black American and then I'll come back again.
As a black American, it's very interesting to me now seeing all of these people from different walks of life, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different countries, different races, get online and start picking apart the United States of America. And I'm a I told you so type of person, and I will gloat, and I will not have any shame doing so. It's very interesting watching them draw conclusions that we've been screaming from the rooftop and screaming from the mountaintop for centuries. But no, y'all thought we were lazy. Y'all thought we were entitled. Y'all thought we just wanted handouts. Y'all thought that it was us. Y'all thought we were the problem. No, we've always seen this country for what they are. We peep game before anybody else do. And it's particularly interesting when black people from other countries come to the United States with all of their preconceived notions about who we are, as if we just have all of these blessings at our fingertips and we're just squandering it because we're lazy and ratchet and ghetto and don't want to work and don't want to be educated. Anything y'all can possibly do, we've already done. Period. Period. So the irony is thick when y'all get online and start complaining about the cost of living. Listen, complaining about the poison in the food because of the position that black Americans and the route by which we've become American. Because of that positioning, we know the game. We peep the games long before anybody else peep it because we have more foresight than y'all. And it take other people much longer to do the math, including white people. We've always had our food poisoned. We've always had our physical persons being experimented on. We've always had been charged prices higher than everyone else. See, and people come over here and they act like we're the problem and we're lazy and we just don't have it together. When we know the games that they play because we've been through and seen the underbelly of this country. We've seen the darkness that this country is. But y'all thought y'all were going to come and get a different result. Y'all thought y'all would come and you could play the game better and actually win. And I just sit around when I see people making videos, when I see people of color and white people and black people from other countries that live in the United States and have been here for a while and is finally doing the math when you could have just listened to us, especially if you're black and from another country, because you came and stood on the foundation that we did, and you have done nothing. There is nothing anybody can do in this country that black Americans haven't already done, period. But you thought you could play the game better than the people who understand the rules. Cackles and black American. Cackles and I told you so. Cackles and I don't care.
Welcome back. Now, I want you to watch clips of white people now regretting, crying about the economic crisis, crying about how life is hard in America. And these are the things black people has been warning you about. Even the election, the Donald Trump election, black people talked about it, saying that we do not need to vote this guy in. But right now, white people or white Americans, they're crying. Watch these videos.
Well, second time in a year, almost a year to the day, I got laid off again, twice in a year. And what the fuck? What is anyone supposed to do? And they said, because of the economy is crap right now. So, we're going to lay off a whole bunch of people again. And I already was struggling so hard, actually low-key, to even keep the current roof over my head. And now I have no idea how I'm even going to get through the next few hours. I just don't understand. But yeah, the economy is shit. America is shit right now. I feel like there's a really big plan for them to, tank this so that we have to rely on other things, other people. It's shit. And I'm quite frankly tired of it. I'm tired of my livelihood being in other people's hands. And I have no idea how to fix that. But I'm going to, because this is just wild. And I'm fucking angry more than I am hurt or sad. I'm scared. I have no idea where any of my bills are gonna come from, the money. I'm more angry than anything because I just cannot even believe I used to be able to get a job like the week later if I got laid off. So I have no idea what's gonna happen, and I was really hoping at one point I would make money on TikTok, and I still only have 1,500 followers or whatever. So if you could just blow this up and let's get 10,000 followers plus whatever, because I might be homeless in a week or two if I can't figure it out. So, yeah.
This is what I'm struggling with in America right now in my 20s. Why is everything so expensive? Why am I making more money waitressing than I would make using my college degree? I barely have a life. I have 2 days off and I work Wednesday to Sunday, doubling just to pay my bills. At 22 years old, all of my bills are in my name. I have no help. How are y'all affording housing? In Myrtle Beach, a 1-bedroom apartment is $1,500. Bullshit. How are y'all getting insurance, going to the doctor, getting medicine? And then some of us are trying to be TikTok influencers. Who knows where that's going to get me? Me and my boyfriend are saving, but we barely see each other during the week, and it feels like we're working our asses off for nothing. Do we need to move somewhere for a better job opportunity that we don't know about? Do any of y'all really know what you want to do with your life right now? It is so scary being in America right now. If you can relate to this, if you have any advice, please comment and let me know. It's ridiculous.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living on the average American salary? I just watched a TikTok of a teacher who makes a teacher's salary. I don't know what state she's in, so I don't know how much she makes, but her 1-bedroom apartment is $2,000. And when she spends $2,000 on that 1-bedroom apartment, it doesn't even come with a washer and dryer. So she has to go pay an additional $2 every time she wants to use their washer and dryer. Okay, how does that leave her any extra money to spend? And then she said she had a $400 car payment, which some people were bashing her on that. But in today's economy with interest rates, that's really not that bad. And I'm sure she needs a dependable car. So you talk about teacher's salary, $2,000 in rent, $400 car payment, you got insurance, you got groceries, electricity. I don't understand how people are affording life right now, and it really makes me sad for some people. You have people who are like her. She's single, she has her own salary, or families where it just works out best for them for the mother to stay home. And if the father is just making an average American salary, how are they affording life without going in a bunch of debt? This lady who's a teacher started crying because she said she realizes on her salary and where she lives, she will actually end up in more debt. Then she will just continue to accrue more debt and more debt and more debt because her salary is not matching the cost of living. And what's sad is I've seen people be like, just spend less. Listen, guys, the cost of living is rising and our salaries are stagnant. Okay, so there's not just spend less. That's not the problem here. The problem is the cost of living is outrageous, and minimum wage in some states is still $7.25. Teachers in some states are still paid a ridiculously low salary, even though their job is super important. I don't know what we can do about this, but I'm just going on a rant because it really, really pisses me off.
I have been struggling to survive in the United States my entire life. And in 30 days, I finally get the opportunity to leave. Probably for good. For as long as I can remember, I have been fighting just to survive. I've worked jobs that barely pay enough to live. I've stretched every dollar that I have, constantly feeling like no matter how hard I try, I'm always one emergency away from losing everything. And I have had that emergency happen multiple times and lost everything. And now I have a baby. And the idea of raising him in this system literally keeps me up at night. I don't want him growing up watching me struggle. I don't want him to think that exhaustion, fear, and survival mode are just a part of life. I want him to know something different, something better. And that's why we're leaving. In 30 days, we're moving to Costa Rica. Not because it's some fantasy escape, but because life there makes sense. Rent is cheaper, food is fresh and local, healthcare is universal, people actually slow down and live, and most importantly, I'll finally have time just to be with my child without feeling guilty about it. I know I'm not the only one feeling like this. Have you thought about leaving? What's stopping you? I'm going to document this entire journey, from packing up our life to what it's really like to live there. If you've ever wondered if there's another way to live, stick around because I'm about to find out.
Our education system is failing students in this country. The Nation's Report Card, I brought it up in my remarks last week, it shows that fourth graders are not reading at the level they should. I believe it was 40% of them are proficient in reading. As the mother of a child, I want an education system that helps my child read and write, teaches him math, nothing else in the classroom, and the president is wholeheartedly committed to we can make academia great again in this country.
What other
Deanna.
Oh, thanks, Caroline. Does the president, is he looking at offering anything to these Arab countries that take in Palestinians? Is he willing to give them anything in return? And secondly, when the president announced his taking over Gaza policy yesterday, was Netanyahu aware of this, and what was his reaction when Trump presented that idea to him?
I won't get ahead of the president's discussions or negotiations on your first question about what would be offered. I think the president's made it clear that he expects these nations in the region to step up.
Living in America is getting a little hard right now. Like, most of us are living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, inflation, groceries are so expensive, and minimum wage is still really low in a lot of states. Student debt is ridiculous. The cost of college just keeps rising. The housing market is trash. The job market is trash. So many people are struggling to get jobs. I mean, it's just getting really hard. Like, we could really use some help. We want to ban TikTok, though.
And I thought it was the UK that was on its arse. Seems like these Americans are really fucking struggling with the cost of living crisis. Check this video out. Tell me it don't break your heart. How can someone earning $80,000 a year be struggling to live? This is fucked.
And we are literally the brokest we've ever been.
But I'm making the most money I ever had my entire life. My husband and I, between the two of us, gross, make like over $80,000 a year. And if you told me a few years ago that $80,000 a year was not going to be enough for a family of four.
I make more than what I made back in 2015, but I am still literally living paycheck to paycheck.
I have to work 60 hours a week and make $80,000 a year to make ends meet. That's insane. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it.
Financially, I don't understand anymore. I don't understand how I make $34 an hour and I can't function. I can't pay my bills.
I just feel like nothing ever goes my way. I don't know how to keep pushing. I feel like I get denied help at every corner, every turn. All I want to do is get better, and I need my son in a facility so that I can get better. And I can't get him in a facility no matter what I try. I just don't know what to do anymore.
Welcome back. Now, there are several issues that Black Americans has been warning the American society for long, or the white Americans for long, but they are being ignored simply because of their color, simply because of their race. And it's okay, as a servant, it's very hard for you to warn a master. It's very hard for you to give advices to masters. They won't listen to you. So Black people, they were not listened to them simply because they are just blacks. And a lot of Black people are seen as slaves in America. So it's hard for you to be heard. One of the things that Black people are warning white people, and right now it's affecting them, is predatory policing and legal system injustices. Many white Americans are now experiencing aggressive policing, asset for future, and unfair legal practices that Black people warned about. Now, when you say unfair legal practices, it is something that Black Americans were facing all along. The entire decades or 500 years down the line, 300 years down the line, black people have been facing unfair legal practices. But this is being done by the rich white people. And now they don't care anymore. Some of the white people are facing these unfair legal practices. And when the black people are telling them about what's happening, they denied the fact that it is a problem. They say that you as black people, you are the problem, or you are causing this problem to yourself. So it was hard for these issues to be handled simply because one of race is supporting it, or white race was supporting it, Latinos was supporting it. But because it was affecting only black people, it was being said that they are complaining. This thing's not happening. So right now, people are crying out here. White people are crying out here because of these legal system injustices. Okay? Another thing is economic inequalities or the decline of the middle class. Now, black Americans want that unchecked capitalism, wage stagnation, and job outsourcing would eventually impact everyone. Now, many working class and middle class white Americans are struggling with job losses, inflation, and economic precarity. Issues that black community have been facing for generations. About the job loss, about the wages stagnation, black people or black Americans have been facing this for generations, and they were shouting, they were protesting, they were saying this is issue about their jobs and everything. But white people were just keeping silent because they were good. Middle class were doing good. They were being offered good jobs, paid good money, but right now it's affecting everyone. Black folks have been complaining about this, about economic inequalities, because white supremacy are the one enjoying, or being a white race, being a person of white race, they have been enjoying for long about the economic advantages, about, health and everything, but black people were sabotaged, suppressed for so long, and they were crying, but they warned the entire American society that this one day it could or it will affect everyone. And thus right now, many working class or middle class in America, they are struggling. Whether you are white or black, everyone is struggling. See how they are crying out here, working many hours with that few coins. So they are struggling. And these things, black Americans want about it. One of the things that black Americans want is media manipulation and misinformation. Black activists have long pointed out how the media distorts a narrative to serve the interests of the powerful. Today, many white Americans are realizing how propaganda and misinformation shape public perception, especially in politics and social issues. After election, black people are going maybe to the road, protesting, or the economy is bad, or the leader we chose is bad. Now I see right now white people, after election, they're crying because of the media manipulation and misinformation. So, if you're a white person, you are not an exception. It's not that when the economy is bad to black person that you will enjoy. Each and everyone will face the wrath. Each and everyone will go down. If you chose a bad leader, or if you are being misinformed or misguided in one way or the other, it will hit you. Media misguided white people that black people are not good in leadership, or black people we can't give them this and that. But right now, some of them, they see that black people maybe are the better. Another thing is about the healthcare disparities. Now, a lot of white people are crying because of healthcare. It is very expensive. And black Americans had already warned about medical. And right now, about the medical issues, is affecting everyone. How it was expensive to black people or black Americans, now it's expensive to both of them. We lived thinking, or black people lived complaining about how expensive health is, how expensive education is, but now they don't care anymore. It's affecting each and everyone. So black Americans have been facing these issues. Black Americans have been facing these problems. But when they talk, they will say because they are black and civilized, they are causing chaos. But right now, who is laughing now? We have everything, some things like decline of American institution, and Black Americans have always been skeptical of governmental institution. Now, with concerns over democracy, surveillance, and political corruption, many white Americans are seeing what Black communities want about. See what's happening right now. The MAGA are crying, MAGA tears. It is obvious or it is alarming how white people didn't see this coming. Now, when you are out here saying that Black people are of no use, you can tell right now. I have seen videos where some white people are thanking Black people for putting them on check. I've seen some videos where white people are acknowledging the Black people. I've seen some videos where white people are acknowledging Black women out here. So when there is problem, is for both of us, both Black and both white. There is a time where problems was only for Black Americans and white people were enjoying. And some of them saw this crying of Black people as it is something that it will not reach to them. But right now, they are accepting the fact that Black people were right all along about these issues. Black Americans were right all along about these issues. And let me tell you, Black Americans build America. They know each and every corner of America. Maybe this was not written in the history that Black people are reading, but in the real sense, Black Americans knows everything that's happening in America. They know where there is potholes. They know where there's problems. They know that some white people or the powerful white people are using others. They know this, and they have been warning you about this. But because you are being lied to, you as a white person, you are being lied to you that your race is powerful, that your race is important, that your color is like this, so you ignore each and everything that white people are doing or Black people are doing. You ignore each and everything that Black folks are saying simply because you are lied to that your color is important. Now the white middle class people are out here, they are facing the problems that Black people are facing, and the rich white people now are sitting down. They're planning another narrative, they're planning another story, they're planning another stereotypes to tell you that this is because of this and this. So we have lots of voting rights, voter suppression, which Black people have been warning about, a number of things that Black people have been going through in America, and they have been warning you about it. But because we are being fooled by our color, maybe, some of us are in Africa, for example, and then some people, maybe Indians, come here in Africa and they warn us about what's happening, but we don't listen because it's our country. And when the time comes, there will be struggle for all of us. When the hunger hit a country, it hit each and everyone. It's only a rich person will enjoy. When a disease comes, it will hit each and everyone in the country. Only the rich maybe will get good medication. So Black people have been warning entire American society about what's happening right now. Right now, Americans are crying, white people are crying. In tears, some of them are running away from America because now they are realizing that America is falling. But it is evident from back way. Tell me what you think about this on the comment section. Do you think Black Americans have the blueprint of the world? Until next episode, peace be with you.